Welcome guys, it's Somehotcookies and we're going to be covering what to expect with the plethora of game reveals and information we are bound to be bombarded with in Summer Games Fest. With Summer Games Fest essentially being the replacement for E3 since the pandemic, this seems to be the gaming event to tune into to be in the know for all the upcoming major titles, and it's just around the corner now in June 8th. We're going to be covering most new AAA titles and some majorly hyped new IPs, along with speculating about what could be revealed during Summer Games Fest. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, the 40 partners that you guys are seeing on screen right now are the 40 partners for Summer Games Fest. This doesn't mean that these will be the only company showcasing anything, but they will most likely have the bigger segments and panels throughout the event, showing off most of their new IPs and reoccurring franchises. The publishers and companies that stand out for the purposes of today will be these 7: Xbox themselves, PlayStation themselves, Capcom, Sega, EA, Ubisoft, and Warner Brothers. Let's start with Xbox, since it is my console of choice, especially since all of my friends are on it. Now, with the 2 console segments, they could also be showcases to reveal other publisher games, like Capcom and Square Enix most likely being along with PlayStation, and Xbox could have a mishmash of others like EA and Warner Brothers in their showcase. It all depends on deals and partnerships that happen behind the scenes. Xbox's new flagship and biggest title this year is undoubtedly Starfield, and all eyes are on it for sure, and for good and bad reasons. Promising space exploration akin to a realistic and bustling space system of the future, with the RPG mechanics and freedoms coming from Bethesda's previous properties like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, it has promised literally the world and more. But with the biggest blunder of what feels like the last decade being the hyped up and decently marketed Redfall, people have gotten understandably worried about the next Xbox exclusive. Granted, Redfall was made with the B teams of Arcane Studios and helping developers, while they were working on other bigger projects like Starfield and anything else that could be cooking in the background, like a possible Elder Scrolls edition. People have every right to be worried about Starfield, with most gameplay aspects and showcasings mostly being under wraps. Hopefully, with Summer Games Fest though, they can put any naysayers and doubters' worries to rest. Other games of note from the Xbox Showcase camp would be the next Forza more than likely being revealed. If EA doesn't, and sometimes when they do have their own dedicated panel, they still showcase some of their games and sports titles throughout the Xbox Showcase as well. We can also expect to see any Activision Blizzard games, like the next Call of Duty announcement, and now with Yakuza apparently jumping ship recently from PlayStation's presentations, we could see their new Like a Dragon title showcased here as well. Now, some long jump guesses I have for big reveals for Xbox could be a Halo story-based DLC. It's been a while since they've had any Halo news, one of their biggest flagship titles, and I know right now they have a multiplayer story elements with their bigger patches or seasons that they have, but a story DLC could possibly cue some reinstalls from people waiting for more Halo content. Another prediction I have is news on Gears of War as well. They are another one of the 40 partners up there, and another major IP we have seen almost nothing of in the recent years in terms of big presentations, and what other way to make a grand re-entrance than the replacement of E3. Now, let's talk about PlayStation. PlayStation has the potential to steal the show once again, with them having a PlayStation Showcase on May 24th. They could do major reveals there for titles, and then show off gameplay or new trailers during Summer Games Fest. With huge titles like Spider-Man 2 coming out later this year, and the previous success of Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, this game is bound to be another amazing iteration in the series. And with Venom being in it, they have a real chance to draw in a big audience to this one. With their usual showcasings of Capcom and Square Enix games over on the PlayStation side of things, you can also expect things like a new Monster Hunter for its 20th anniversary, happening 2024 to have a new title, a possible teaser for the next installment of the Resident Evil franchise, which has been rumored to be called Resident Evil Apocalypse, news on the Final Fantasy XVI, like more gameplay, and a possible teaser or letter from the developers again about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well. You also can't forget about their endeavors into Kingdom Hearts 4. Lastly, we have had little to no news on the new Silent Hill Ascension experience coming out, and with their last teaser, they're going to need to show some sort of gameplay, reveal what the experience is, and a release date. Not really revealed to be a game, but with some sort of episodic release. Since then, we have had zero news on the game since announcement, but more news would help in developing hype and clearing up the confusion for new and returning Silent Hill fans alike. Some far-fetched and just rumored games would be a Devil May Cry, since it has been years since the new entry has been made into the series, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, which I have been keeping my eyes out for personally for any news, and we haven't gotten anything for over a year now. And supposedly a PlayStation exclusive, this would have to be the place to showcase it if it was continuing going through with it. If not, it's possible the title has been dropped as fans have feared. There's also a rumored Final Fantasy Tactics remaster on the way, and with Final Fantasy 1 through 5 just getting a pixel remaster, maybe it's not too far-fetched to say that they've turned their eyes onto another fan favorite in the series. So again, May 24th is a huge PlayStation showcase, and it has been teased for a while now. So if any of these games are revealed or shown trailers there, it's likely that Summer Game Fest will just have follow-up details or a small gameplay segment or trailer instead of a flat-out announcement over at Summer Games Fest. Next, let's get on to Sega. Sega doesn't have a huge catalog rumored or confirmed, but what they do have is pretty big news, guys. First and foremost, of course as mentioned earlier, is Yakuza Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, which is supposed to branch the timeline between Yakuza 6 and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Along with Yakuza, they have their hero-based extraction shooter, Hyenas, revealed last year. Since then, we haven't gotten much information, so they should definitely be revealing more information during this event. The more rumored stuff from Sega is Sonic Frontiers DLC and the insanely hyped up remaster or remakes of games from the past, being Jet Set Radio Future and Crazy Taxi. Those two games are personally near and dear to my heart as games of my childhood, and I would love to play the new iterations of these titles. Last but definitely not least, we have Alien Isolation 2 being rumored to be revealed sometime this year, and with Alien Isolation being one of the best and nail-biting horror games of all time in my opinion, it would definitely be something everyone would be looking forward to. Let's move on to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has garnered a lot of hype with the recent announcement of Mortal Kombat 1, and all that was a trailer, with gameplay bound to be afoot and details about the games and modes and new mechanics. Warner Brothers will keep us well fed with this title alone. Along with that, they've been developing a Quidditch game for Harry Potter that will likely have developments here, probably a new trailer and some details on gameplay. And lastly, the delayed Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, with reports of the game looking like a monetization nightmare though. Hopefully the delay put the game in the right direction. The only real speculation or prediction reveal I have for Warner Brothers is probably just a character or two for multiverses, as the really big one was just Alien Isolation 2. Other than that, I've heard no other rumors or ongoings than the ones we've mentioned already. Finally, let's talk about Ubisoft. With some good games around the corner, they have the potential to make a big impact as well, with the new Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Skull and Bones, which has been delayed I think 5 times now, with people really anticipating that game as well, and the new installment in the Assassin's Creed franchise, Assassin's Creed Mirage. They have a decent chance to showcase some major gameplay segments and new game trailers for all of these games. There are a ton of other AAA titles and indie titles, some that don't fit in these major publisher franchises, and we will mention them briefly. We should be seeing more developments in Hollow Knight Silksong, which is supposed to release in the first half of 2023, Homeworld 3, an RTS that is also supposed to release in the first half of 2023, the possibility of Nintendo IPs, ranging from this year's Pokemon DLC to major game announcements from them as well, or through a Nintendo Direct, Pikmin 4 releasing July 21st, maybe getting a new trailer or some gameplay, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game coming out August 18th from the Friday the 13th guys, getting some more gameplay revealed, and another trailer possibly. We should be getting trailers for the 2 Telltale games coming out, being The Expanse, based on the show with the same name coming out in July, and The Wolf Among Us 2, which is still without a release date. Hopefully we get some more development on the game called The Day Before, a game coming November 10th that has been majorly controversial over in the gaming space. People have been calling the game a fraud and overpromising and has a lot to prove. Exoprimal is slated to be coming out in July, which is a team-based action game to take on waves and waves and waves of dinosaurs coming from every which direction. And now we have a decent amount of games with no release dates even revealed yet, so we could be getting some release date reveals and another possible teaser or trailer for these games. We have games like Alan Wake 2, the sequel to the Xbox 360 classic horror game, Ark 2, Hades 2, a sequel to a roguelike that everyone sings the praises of, Lies of P, the Souls-like game with a lot of hype in the Pinocchio universe apparently, Payday 3, the third installment of a heist game 4-player cooperative experience where either stealth or running and gunning are the major options, Metal Slug Tactics, and of course, Suikoden 1 and 2 Remaster, a classic RPG series from back in the day. Again, I have to mention these are obviously not all the games there are a lot more out there, but these were the major ones that I could find that had the most hyped fan bases behind them already. Some of these, as mentioned, are rumors or speculation, and I can't wait to find out which ones actually come out to fruition and which ones don't. Let me know which of these games you're most excited for, or you wish to be shown during Summer Games Fest. Do you have any other games you think we should have talked about here, or think might be showcased in Summer Games Fest? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. I will be reacting to most of the major panels and showcases live here on my channel, including the PlayStation Showcase on May 24th, so if you want to see that, more gaming news and coverage on select games coming from Summer Games Fest, keep it tuned right here. Thank you guys for watching, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys next time. Peace.